In this video, I want to share 7 important things that agency owners need to do in order to go from 100K per year to 100K per month. Let's get it going. Welcome back, guys. Greg Hickman here with Alt Agency, and we train and coach agency owners and consultants on how to fix their delivery model so they can increase their capacity, serve more clients with less effort, in less hours, and with less headache. Now, in this video, I want to share things that I learned that I think you need to know if you're trying to take your business from, say, 100K a year to 100K per month. Obviously, that's a big growth inside the business, and there are some things that you're going to have to do differently as the owner that will even position you to make this sort of transformation and kind of position yourself for this sort of growth. So let's dive in. All right, thing number 1 is that you need to go from doing everything yourself, or saying that I'm gonna do all of these things myself, to actually assembling a team. Now, what I mean by this is as you start to take on more clients, you're gonna become the bottleneck. And I always recommend to actually get yourself out of fulfillment first, automate your lead gen, and then your sole responsibility as the owner is sales. Then you can remove yourself from sales. I actually did another video about that as well. You can check that out in the description. But structurally speaking, mentally speaking, you need to be prepared to stop doing certain things inside of your business and hiring the right people to do those things. If you don't assemble a team and you continue on the mentality of I can be sales, marketing, fulfillment, the reality is there's a very fixed ceiling on how many clients you can actually serve in the amount of hours that you have available. If you want a 40-hour work week, you're only gonna be able to serve a certain amount of clients. Now, yes, while everything will go through you, you'll have control, there's also gonna be a limit on how much you can actually make, and everything then becomes tied to you inside the business, which makes it a whole lot less scalable, a lot more difficult to go on vacation. Important thing number 2 is that you need to go from hiring desperately to hiring logically. Obviously, I just said you need to assemble a team, but what I mean by hiring desperately versus hiring logically is that in the beginning, you'll take just about any client. And unfortunately, a lot of service providers, agency owners continue to take on any type of client because they don't know where the next one is coming from, which then leads them to having to hire often expensive experts, aka client A comes in, they gotta go hire one person. Client B comes in, they need to go hire someone else. So they're kind of always trying to manage this stable of other contractors and freelancers just to get the work done. And it's usually desperation because you just took on that deal because you didn't know where the next one was coming from. So we need to shift to hiring logically. When you can solve a specific problem for your client, you actually can lay out the process in which you solve that problem in a specific sequence. And you can look inside that sequence and say, oh my God, these are the 3 types of people that I'm gonna need inside of the delivery to remove myself entirely and the client still get the result. Now let me go hire those specific types of people that only need to do a specific set of items to move our client through our process. Hiring is gonna become a whole lot easier. It's gonna be easier to start to increase the time that each of those people are working for you, hopefully making them full-time in your business so that your whole fulfillment process will eventually run without you. So we need to move from hiring desperately to hiring logically. Important thing number 3 is to shift from trying to have everything be perfect, aiming for perfection, to understanding that growth is messy. And after coaching 400 plus business owners, the number of times that people want to have everything, the T's crossed and I's dotted and everything with a perfect bow before they make any sort of real move and expose themselves to any potential failure, they try to make everything perfect. They make it look pretty and they do all of that while avoiding the actual work. And the reality is, if you want to grow a business, growth is just messy. Things are going to break, and that allows you to then fix it and know exactly what to fix. If you're growing and something breaks, you fix it, something else will break. And you have to start to get comfortable with the fact that there's going to be problems, there's going to be a little bit of chaos while you're in a growth mode, in a growth period. And so if you're growing really quickly from $100,000 a year to $100,000 a month, your team size is going to be growing quickly. Systems are going to break. You're going to need to add new systems. You're going to need to acquire new skills, and you're going to feel like you're trying to tackle a lot of things. And the reality is that while you can mitigate some of the risk, there's still going to be a little bit of a mess as you grow. And the more you try to control and make everything perfect, the slower you will grow. And oftentimes you'll actually put a ceiling on the growth altogether because you're not willing to have things break or be a little bit imperfect. You're always aiming for 100% when 70 to 80% done is going to move you and the business forward a whole lot faster, allowing you to make more money and get to the end goal of the business model that you were actually trying to build in the first place. All right, number 4 is that you need to shift from this kind of mindset of I'm not a marketer, or I don't want to be a marketer. I don't want to have to do Facebook ads or create content or do any of those things. Now, in the early stages, leveraging your personality is going to be a huge asset to your marketing. People invest in you. So you need to shift from that thought and mindset of I'm not a marketer to you got to acquire the skill of marketing and learn to become good at it. Or, as I wrote here, find a partner that can do it. Shut up, suck it up, and learn, because you have to acquire this skill at some point. Or if you're not willing to do either of those things, you're gonna have to get a job. The number of people that want a successful business but aren't willing to market themselves to get clients and get attention is honestly shocking to me. I don't consider myself a great marketer, but I've gotten a lot better over the years by just actually marketing our business. And it gets us clients, it helps bring people to us versus having to chase everybody. And that's something you're gonna have to do if you want to go from $100,000 a year to $100,000 a month. Now, before I get to number 5, if you're enjoying this video, I put together a free training breaking down our 4-step process for you to get your time back by fixing your service delivery issues, and also then having a steady flow of leads coming into you each and every week and month so that you're never kind of scrambling to find the next client. If you want that training, check out the link in the description below. We'll break it down, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, now number 5 is to shift from I can do it all on my own, kind of this myth of, well, I'll save my way to wealth, to actually investing in mentors to see around corners. I am not where I am today without the help from coaches, consultants, and mentors that I've worked with through buying courses, joining masterminds, buying into both 90-day and year-long and 3-year-long programs to help me get around people that were ahead of me, that had the business model that I wanted, had the life that I wanted. And those people help me see around corners. Like I mentioned here, the seeing around corners is really, really important. Don't go and make mistakes that other people can show you how to avoid just because you want to save some money. You'll actually be losing money because you'll lose that in time. And the most precious thing and asset that you have and I have is our time. So you should want to use that wisely. So invest in the right mentors and coaches and or courses to either acquire a skill, see around corners, to be able to know what the next problem that you're going to face before you have it. You will save tons of time, tons of headache, and you'll actually get to your goal a whole lot faster. And so again, I don't know really anybody that's gone from $100,000 a year to $100,000 a month without the help of mentors and coaches and some sort of mastermind peer group. Now, you don't need all of those things, but definitely getting in and around the right community of people that are ahead of you is critical if you want to make this transition and this amount of growth in your business. All right, number 6 is that you want to shift from doing the work for your clients to getting paid to show them how they can do it. Now, this is something we talk a lot about on this channel. I'll link up some videos below in the description. But fundamentally, if all you do is serve clients done for you in kind of the traditional, I'll call it the old way of the agency model, then you're gonna have a ceiling on how many clients you can serve. And yes, while you can grow revenue, you're likely going to increase your expenses and overhead to the point where the profits are so minimal that you're gonna have more of a headache, and your team's gonna be taking home way more than you are, and it's not gonna be really worth the challenge. I think for 99% of the service businesses out there, the consultants, the agency owners that are the small, lean and mean team, they really want a nice life, but to have a really high upside on their income and flexibility, need to shift their delivery model into something that is more done with you, where you're getting paid for your thinking, your knowledge, your skills, and you're showing your client how to do the things that you do. Just because you do them doesn't mean you have to be the one to do it, but it also means you know how to do it, which means you can show someone else. And there's a whole level of growth bigger than where you're at right now when you apply this model of delivery inside of your service-based business. Now, if that's something you actually want to do and you haven't checked out that training, go ahead, it's linked up in the description. But if you want to work with myself and the team, we can help you fix your delivery issue, your delivery model within the first 30 days of us working together, and help you validate that by getting a couple clients in the door shortly thereafter. So if you'd like to talk to us about that, you can also book a call with one of the advisors on my team. We can brainstorm what your service looks like right now and hopefully help you do this inside your business. Important thing number 7 is to shift from changing direction on a dime to delaying gratification and seeing things through. This was a hard lesson for me to learn in my journey. Because we're small and we're nimble, that's a strength in the beginning and we can course correct really quickly. But as you start assembling a team and you start doing these things 1 through 6, you're gonna have to let some of your team members make decisions, which means they're probably not going to move as fast as you. And you need to see things and let things play out to see exactly what's working. So you're gonna be focused more on working on the right things versus trying to work on everything very quickly. And yes, that means you actually have to sometimes delay gratification because the thing you just fixed or your team just suggested and installed in the business, it's gonna take 30, 60, and 90 days to really know if it's something that's working or not. And you need to be patient enough to see how that plays out in your business versus cutting bait and always starting something new without ever really knowing if it was gonna work in the first place. This is where you start to see people trying to solve a problem that really didn't exist in the first place. Now, if you're enjoying this video, definitely go ahead and click the subscribe button. We release a new video every single week and we would love to have you on the channel, and click that notification bell so you get notified. Quick recap for you, 7 things to help you go from 100K per year to 100K per month is first to assemble your team. Second is to hire logically, not desperately. 3 is to understand that growth is messy. 4 is to acquire the skill of marketing so that you can have people coming to you and you're not chasing people. Invest in mentors so you can see around the corners, shorten the learning curve, acquire new skills, and grow faster because you're challenged to become a better version of yourself. 6, shift to getting paid for done with you, showing people how to do the work versus always being the labor. And lastly, being able to delay gratification and not change direction on a dime so that you can have confidence in the new systems and solutions you're putting into place, because sometimes they just need to play out a little bit longer than you were willing to wait. So I hope you enjoyed this video on how to go from $100,000 a year to $100,000 a month inside of your business. These are just key lessons that I've learned in our journey of making this exact same growth inside of our revenue and our business. And one of my clients asked me this, and so I put together this video. So I hope you found it useful. Comment in the comment section below what your biggest takeaway was, and we'll see you in the next one.